All right. I think we're live in the building. Hope everybody's doing okay, man. We got a bunch of people in here already. That's awesome. So, just a bit of housekeeping real fast. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. Um, Especially if you're watching the live stream, that means you follow my content much. I'd appreciate it. Leave a like. Wait, we actually have just about as many likes as people in here, which is awesome. Of course, if you need coaching, consultation, patreon.com/DocHink, supplements, leviathansubs.com, equipment, peakmalephysique.com. Yeah. So one of the things I wanted to talk about first is there was a lot of helpful feedback on the video from yesterday, which I appreciate, especially you guys that were definitely more respectful in their. It not even doesn't even have to be respectful, just not a dick in your comments. Always very helpful, always much appreciated. But even the guys that were not so kind, I still appreciate feedback, and I can learn from negative or positive criticism. So a lot of confusion with the video yesterday regarding collagen. Okay, and a couple of things. One thing is that like if you go to the end of the video, this is the only thing that made me a little bit frustrated. Is that like in my opinion, I very clearly said, okay, guys, here I literally say like here are my most important takeaways from this paper. And there was really only about three things that I took away from it. And so I understand that there was a bit of back and forth. As far as what I said, but the other important thing with that paper is I said it was one paper and it did leave me in some cases with more questions than answers. And so I just like I am grateful that people entrust me with like, okay, like I'm going to count on Hink to tell me just everything and make it as clear, crystal clear as possible. But I also appreciate some of the guys that actually use some critical thinking. And I had several guys that reached out, like my guy Doc 72, he's in the house, and said, "Yo, like I think you had the wrong link in the description," which I did, and I corrected that. But he actually wanted to read the paper, and so I don't know, man. Like sometimes it does feel like a lot of pressure sometimes that people, I guess I didn't realize, like, how many people count on me, and it wasn't like it was everybody, but just to be like, "Here's the paper, this is what it means for PE, the end, there's no question," and PE is not, it's not that, it's not that straightforward, man, and I do think papers like that leave room for interpretation, and it's like, for example, I said that after about 10 minutes is when there's peak collagen production. And so it's like, well, what does that mean if you do like manual set of 5 minutes, then wait a minute and then do another manual set of 5 minutes? Like, what does that mean within the timeline of that collagen production? I don't know. And I think that it's okay to say you don't know sometimes. I don't know, man. I don't know. It was just very interesting to me, especially the people that were like, I'm really confused by this." So in my opinion, what the takeaway from that papers are is really the main takeaway is that if you're going to do PE, it's best to get it done certainly within a 6 hour window. Okay. But if you do have to do like a twice a day approach, then it's probably a little bit better if you get it like 2 sessions in within 2 to 3 hours when we're just talking about collagen production. Okay. Um, the other important thing, guys, was when it comes to collagen production, like it's kind of like some people think fibrosis is like, okay, I did PE, I did it wrong the next day, and I wake up and my penis is going to be fibrotic and shriveled up and not work. Like that's not how fibrosis works. Fibrosis is a chronic condition that sets in over time due to like chronic injury or chronic poor blood flow, or even in some case when you get to be an old man like me and your testosterone levels drop, you have actually your lack of nocturnal erections at night can lead to penile fibrosis. And so, similarly with collagen production, the reason why I think this matters, and I'm going to make another video that'll hopefully clear this up a little bit better, is I think it matters because not in the short term, but in the long term, a lot of people say that like, hey, I gained great for the first 6 months, but then it slowed down. What I'm trying to argue is that slowdown, that potential newbie gains phenomenon is a real thing. And part of the reason why it's a real thing is because of the collagen production that accumulates over continually like stretching your D over time. And so, for those of you all that were confused by my video, I don't know why I put in like quotes with confusion. Like if you were confused, you were confused, and it's okay. I would just watch the video again, see if that helps. I would read the paper yourself, see if you can make better sense of it than I can. And that's why I also challenge some other guys to like give their thoughts in the field. And I'm not really on Reddit that much anymore, even though I have actually like past like week or so ish. But yeah, like I would love to see some guys that give their own take on what they got from that paper and what it means at all. Because guys, there's also a chance that there's very little relevance to that paper. But obviously I gave my thoughts. I gave what I thought was important, and so the last thing that I would want to do is I mean, like, I really wasn't trying to actively confuse people. And then Baby Peanut says Hink WTF is collagen. What's up, my guy? Yeah. So I'm not trying to confuse people, but I'm also like I haven't made sense of all this stuff myself either. So for those of you that like, gave me grace and gave me patience and still gave me some feedback, I really appreciate it. Um and seeking truth, yes it is. And for those that maybe didn't give me as much grace and patience, I still appreciate the feedback and it helps. And clearly, if it's like one of those things, there's some people that are like, everybody hates me. It must be a problem with everybody else. And then there's other people like me that are like, man, there's more people that are than usual saying like this video confused him. And so it that must mean that there was a problem with the way I presented the data. And that's okay too, because I'm human. I do the best I can. And so uh yeah. And so yeah, anyways. And uh so anyways, I'm gonna make some follow-up videos. If you haven't seen my video about why I think that we don't want to be stimulating collagen, I feel like you should watch that. Because I do think that provides some valuable context. So anyways, man, um let's get into the questions. Jajink Lagoon, Hink, we just appreciate you are out here trying to help us all get a hog. I appreciate you, my guy, Jajink Morgoon. Oh my gosh. So yeah, so we'll get into some questions now, guys. I just wanted to, I don't know, just touch on the confusion that came. I don't know, man. I'd like it still just blows my mind that people can't just be like, now this was very few and far in between. But like every now and then there's a comment that I'm just like, man, like did you really have to be a dick, or like did you just that was just what you wanted to do? Yeah, anyways, man. So, JS says, could you talk about Butea superba root? Thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. It's much appreciated. Um, the problem with that is that's one of those things where I've done some kind of peripheral research on. And honestly, it's not really in the forefront of my mind right now because I've been such on this like collagen researching kick. And so, um, I will have to make a follow-up, I might even have to make a full video on it depending on, what I find, because I've definitely researched it for several of my formulas. But I honestly, I don't remember enough on it right now, man, and I don't wanna be like, "Hold on, guys," then like, "Chat GPT, tell me about Butea superba," and then kind of like regurgitate that. And so I just wanna be honest with you, man. I really appreciate the support. I'm gonna do what I can to make a follow-up video or post or something about it to answer your question. But I really just don't remember that much on it just offhand. Um Hink, is there any difference in gains with the auto pump versus the manual pump? Thank you, Pullus. So, no. The short answer is no, absolutely not. I made essentially, not essentially, I made like 98% of my gains from using a manual pump. Um, and so, no, I don't think a manual is better. Um, I do think the auto pump is not for beginners. and so I don't recommend that for beginners, okay? I think you should get a nice pump with a gauge, like what's on peakmalephysique.com. Of course, there's other places too, blah, blah, blah. Um, now, where I like the manual pump is because it's a much more like a set it and forget it. And so, like, for example, you use your manual pump, you're pumping it up. All right, you get it to 5 inches of mercury. And then, like, your D starts engorging with blood and the pressure comes down. Then you got to, and it comes back up until, like, finally it reaches that equilibrium where it stays there. With the auto pump, that's taken care of. You pull it up, you type in what kPa or what inches of mercury you want, and you just got to convert it, and then, like, it goes buzz, it pumps up quickly, which I don't like for beginners, and then it kinda just holds there. And so, I think that, and then, like, if your de-engorges more, it automatically pumps it up, so it's kinda much more like a, "Just set it and forget it," type of thing. And so, that is one of those things that I think is helpful once you're a more advanced person. Where I would be concerned is if you don't know what you've just watched one of my videos and I talk about, well, actually it's 40 kPa is, like, possibly the ideal session, and you're like, okay, bet, I'm just starting off. I'm going to go to 40 kPa, put it in the auto pump, then, like, it's just boom, and then your D's not used to pressure. And I haven't had anybody injure themselves that way, but that is a theoretical thing. Man, that light is like gleaming off this right now. Maybe that's a little bit better. So yeah, man. So let me just take some notes. And I saw in the chat that Caleb got a new phone. I ended up upgrading too. I got the blue one. It was stupid, and I was actually going to return it, but I dropped it and caused a scrape on it. So yeah, I think that and, this is no shade at Caleb's my guy. Like, literally, he was just on the live. But I think guys, in general, don't get caught up in the hype and be like, "Oh, a new phone came out. There's slightly better cameras and slightly better battery. I got to upgrade." Now, for all I know, Caleb was upgrading from an iPhone 6 or something where it's a major upgrade. But I was upgrading from a 15 Pro. Um, and it's trivial, the differences. But anyways, I also had the Pro Max, and now I wanted a smaller phone. So when I take D pics, like, I can put my D against it, and it looks a lot bigger. That was a joke, guys, maybe a bad joke. But give me 1 second here to just take some notes. Let's see. So collagen, clearing up, auto pump. Let's see. Now I know I had another super chat. So thank you, Sam, for the super chat, my guy. Should I use Phallosan Plus extender plus or Phallosan Plus Peony Master extender? Would that accelerate length gains? Love the comment. And so love the content. So thank you very much, bro. I really appreciate the kind words. It's very generous super chat. Um, when uh, when you are for length work, guys, let me be very clear. Okay. I always think if you're starting off, you need to start slow and gradually add time. Typically, with length work, I tell people to start at 5 minutes in the first week and just either 5 minutes in extender, 5 minutes with manuals, like whatever it may be. Whoever's absolutely destroying that heart button right now, I really appreciate you, bro. I don't know if I can send it back at you. Um, but the point is that, I do think once you are, like, adapted to it, more is more. And so, like, do I think that actually, using an extender and an all-day stretcher would lead to more gains? I do. I do. Um, Now in my personal life, it's a non-starter. Like, I can't be walking around the alleged hospital, like, with an all-day stretcher on my D and have somebody be like, "Yo, did you see Doc Smith yesterday? Like, what was that thing going down his leg? Or did you see around his waist?" Like, I can't have that, in the areas where I cosplay, but because 'cause I'm a clown in a mask, guys, don't listen to anything I say. But the point is, yeah, I do think more is more. And if you wanna take some of the content or some of the conclusions from the content yesterday, like, if you're using an all-day extender, you're gonna get the potential benefits of stretching that tissue, but those, mechanoreceptors that produce more collagen that potentially thicken the tunica, they're going to be tapped out. And so, so yeah, I think it's something definitely to consider, man. Just make sure that you're more advanced when you use that. So, Caleb says, "I'm glad you guys enjoyed the last live. It's almost at 10K. Wow, did not know that. That's awesome. Thank you, Caleb. Wow, that's great stuff." And so, and maybe this will be a thing, guys. If you guys are interested in, maybe I'll put out a APB, an all points bulletin, and say like, "Hey, if you want to be featured on a live, let me know." The only thing that I wanna be very careful about is, like, fortunately, Caleb is not selling anything. I do trust him. I trust his gains. I didn't ask him to, like, "Huh, before I bring you on here, you show me some well-measured D picks." But just playing devil's advocate, like, I don't wanna get a bunch of people on here that, like, claim to have gained, and then especially if they're, like, selling a course, because only scammers sell courses, or they are, selling an ebook or affiliated with a product, like, "Use code Caleb for 10% off at Peak Male Physique." I don't wanna make it, like, promotional. I want kind of honest interactions, so anyways, it's just something I'm thinking about. So, but yeah, I really appreciate Caleb coming on the show and being honest and sharing his story. And, Caleb, I will tell you, man, I have had so many people reach out to me and tell me how inspired they were by you. And so, I think you're doing the Lord's work too, my friend. I know we got another super chat, but I want to handle this question from Destroyer because I think it's pretty important. He says, "I've heard some guys using Xiaflex while doing PE. It sounds dangerous. So, for those that don't know what Xiaflex is, it's a specific drug targeted for Peyronie's disease that can help break up the plaques that cause the curves in the D. Um, with Xiaflex alone, I personally know a urologist that his entire practice is fixing broken Ds from Xiaflex. Okay, PE or not, just from Xiaflex injections, fixing the damage that comes with that. So if anybody is out here listening and they're considering doing Xiaflex, would strongly advise you against it. Strongly to like the highest potential advise you not to do that. I think that that would be insanely dangerous. Now, if you are on Xiaflex and your urologist tells you to use an extender, by all means, follow the doctor. Don't listen to a clown in a mask. But Xiaflex is one of those things where I even have some people that hit me up for coaching for Peyronie's disease, and I'm like, "Bro, once again, listen to your urologist, see a real verified doctor." But, I would just have some significant concerns about, Xiaflex just from some of the horror stories that I've heard just from people using it for PE. So yeah. My guy Boobs is in the house. Mac, appreciate the very generous super chat, man. He says, "The top of the base of my D leading down the shaft is sore the next day after doing PE, during both manuals and pumping. Could this pain be a nerve issue? Also note cylinder presses more into the pelvis at later sets." And so personally, I think that that's more likely due to where the pump is pressing in at the base of your D. So this is you like standing sideways. This is your massive hog here. Okay. Like when you put this pump on and it presses like right there on your D, um, that is pressing like right into where essentially the suspensory ligament is. I don't think it's nerve related personally. I think it's just soreness at that where the pump is pressing. There's a couple things that you could do with that. I think that one of the things would be to do. So, once again, guys, this is my pump here, okay? And like I bought a pump sleeve and used an X-Acto knife and cut out the middle, and so I have this silicone base, little PE ASMR. But but the point is it puts a lot of comfort there. I've seen other people that honestly will just get a silicone glove and just kind of roll that up and put it on that area. The other thing that you could do is when you're putting on the pump, instead of having it like right down there, move it up higher. And so the pump is a little bit higher up top. And yeah, and so just shift it like what we call superiorly towards your head. And so I hope that that should probably help. The important thing is that monitor for any erection issues because if you do start having erection issues, that could be nerve related because that nerve runs. right under the penis, and, the nerve runs right under the penis. Awesome, awesome job, Hank. Nailing it today, bro. Great work. It runs right under that suspensory ligament, and so yeah, man, just keep that in mind as well. Hope that answers your question, man. Thank you for the very generous super chat once again. You Health and Wellness sent a very generous super chat. I don't see anything attached to that. Um, let's see. Um, where is that dude's? So, health and fitness, man, if you were just showing love with the super chat, I really, really appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Extremely nice. I have a feeling that that I might have missed a question that you might have, or it might got redacted somehow or something. So please send me a follow-up message. But either way, I really appreciate you, man. Guys, we have, wow, 140 people in here and 75 likes. And so, if you don't mind, take a second to hit the like button. You don't want to do that. That's your right. And so, yeah, it's all good. Uh, Jatinklet says, "Hink, what is the iPhone model? What iPhone model is peak?" Um, I wasn't cool enough to get a 10. I think I got an 11, and I jumped from, like, an 8 to an 11, and that felt like game changing. So, probably, like, right around the iPhone 10, I thought was, like, a sick boost. So, anyways, so let me make sure I got that. So, my guy Daniel, he says, "Hink, after watching your last video, I'm a little bit confused." And so, bro, I don't know if you're just joining us, but you might want to watch the first half of this live because I talked about some of the confusion from that last video. And so, thank you very much for the super chat, and thank you for just phrasing this question in a respectful way, man, or just not a dickheaded way. I really appreciate that. So, it says, "I'm a little confused about what might be best for my air pump routine. Thinking about girth gains, is it twice daily routine still the most effective, or should I switch to once daily?" So, yeah, man, that is the question that drives us. For those of you that are old enough to remember, The Matrix, uh, which probably came out like 10 years after 10 years before most of you guys were born. Um, like, okay, when we're talking about, so what is the evidence for twice a day routines? Okay, well, there's really one verified verified thing that we can point to, and that is the P Long trial. In the P Long trial, they did a twice a day routine. Now, it wasn't a once a day versus twice a day. It was just a once a day routine. And what it did was it showed that you gained significantly. Now, it was combined with a P shot and all kinds of stuff. And personally, I don't know that I believe those results, to be completely honest. No shots at Dr. Brandeis. I'm probably going to be getting him actually on my live stream, maybe Monday, actually. I need to check on that. But so guys, stay tuned for a potential live stream with the actual urologist that does PE on Monday. But the point is that, I think that you're gonna grow either way. My concern about doing a twice a day routine is like you're peaking those basically fibroblasts to secrete collagen more times than you would if you just had a once a day routine, okay? So if you do once in the morning, wait over 6 hours, do once again in the afternoon. Once again, that's 2 spikes of those, like, mechanoreceptors already to stimulate more collagen. And then, of course, you're gonna sleep and then, like, wake up and do it again the next day. So you're literally just getting potentially, guys, potentially, I don't know this to be the fact, you're potentially getting twice as much collagen production than you otherwise would be. Now, twice as much, oh, man, that sounds bad. Like, what does that mean in real life? I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure how that translates. Now, stay tuned for my video about newbie gains because I definitely think that the reason why newbie gains um, are what they are, meaning you start out, you gain like crazy, and then it slows down. I think it's due to collagen production. It's hard for me to otherwise, like, I would challenge anybody in the comments right now. Let me know what other things could potentially be the responsible for why your gains slow down, typically speaking, after the first 6 months. Um, Not with everybody, not with everybody, but certainly after the first year, I think 95% of people will see a dramatic slowdown in their rate of gains. Like, what could be the cause of that besides something like potentially, either collagen deposition or strengthening of the extracellular matrix, the actual bonds between the collagen. And um, so yeah, and so if we're talking about what is most effective short term, if you got 6 months, just 6 months to do PE, you want to give it all you've got. I would do a twice a day routine, shit, maybe even a thrice a day routine. Okay, however, like, if you were like, "Look, I'm in this for the long haul. I want the maximum gains possible over the longest period, not over the longest period of time, but for as long as possible, I wanna gain," then I would probably recommend a once a day based off this one paper that was done using basically artificially created collagen that was stimulated. So take that with a grain of salt. Um, yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if that makes sense. Let's see. Uh So hopefully that answers your question, man. And hopefully that cleared up some of the questions from yesterday. Uh, we got a few more super chats. Woo. Okay, we got a lot more super chats, man. You guys are coming in hard with the super chats. Um, dot, dot, dot. Dr. RX72 says Hink just wants to see our Ds. I don't know what the context of that question is. But yes, absolutely. DMs are open, guys. Oh my gosh, man. Hard R's is in the mother effing building. What's up, my guy? So Sam, thank you very much for the super chat. He says, "Can you talk about DHT cream? What it can do for PE?" So, um, nothing. Roll credits. uh, no, I won't say nothing. So there's a couple of things. Okay, so let's talk about the potential positives. um, if you have gone through a normal puberty, you're I don't think you're gonna gain from DHT cream. Like, if you gain from DHT cream, I think it's gonna be from the improvements in erection quality. Period. Well, for my purposes, period, end of story, okay? Um, yeah, the end, okay? Because basically, what happens during growth is that the androgens bond to your androgen receptors, and that's what stimulates PP growth. But after you like go through puberty, your androgen receptors are essentially blown out. Okay. And so, like, it doesn't matter if you stimulate those receptors with additional androgens, they're not gonna, it's not like you can make them come back on and then keep going or something like that. Now, there's very clear evidence that if you are either going through puberty or have a actual micro penis, that yeah, androgens absolutely will help, but it needs to be combined with growth hormone because the growth hormone will actually keep the androgen receptors active for longer. And so I've reported several times on my channel. I made videos about the combination of basically testosterone and growth hormone. Just watch my video. It's like how to biohack your PP. Actually, a pretty popular video. So I would recommend you check that out because yeah, I talk about how that works. And so, but for like 99, maybe more percent of people, DHT cream is not going to help. It can help you get better erection quality, which, hey, better erection quality in the pump could lead to better gains. Better erection quality clamping could lead to better gains. But like, other than that, I think it just puts you at a high risk of things like high blood pressure, balding, prostate hypertrophy, shutting down your natural testosterone. I don't think it's worth it by any way, shape, form, any stretch of the imagination. Guys, 2 more likes and I'm at 100. One more like and I'm at 100 likes. I'd appreciate it, man. You guys are showing hella love today, and I really appreciate that, man. So, yeah, and my guy, Intimacy Nutrition Doc, says DHT cream won't do anything for PE gains after age 25. I would argue after probably age 21. To be honest, 21, can you do something for me? So, yeah, so DHT cream. So yeah, man, it's not gonna do anything, but watch my video on how to biohack the penis. I just think that that is one of the like lower and more risky things that you could do. Like, it has very low efficacy and it's very relatively speaking, it's high risk. Not like anti-lysyl oxidase high risk, but relatively high risk. Caleb says, greatly benefit on a manscaping video to look bigger. Um, Interesting. I mean, so thank you, Caleb, for that comment. But the problem with that video is like, here's what the video would be. Hey guys, if you want to look bigger, shave your pubes. Roll credits. Like, I don't mean, I certainly don't like, here's how I groom. Like, I don't know, get like get thank you guys for hitting the like button, getting me above 100 likes already. But like, whatever works best to either trim or shave your D is going to lead to better outcomes. And so I don't think that I don't have a lot of like, now, I talked before about, like, I actually made a video, now this was, like, 3 years ago, about, like, how to send the ideal D pic, and there was actually published literature about, like, the D that women actually wanna see and, like, what it looks like, and part of it was a well-groomed D, and so, I mean, there's a little bit of data that I could put to it, I just think that's a kinda low yield topic. Ortho OnlyFans, my guy, he says, "Mom, Wheaties with the MJ on the box." Speak my guy, gosh, what's his name in here? My LeBron fan guy, but, like, did you see the LeBron decision too? So, like, first of all, guys, and I'm gonna answer your question, but, like, I'm actually, like, do what you like. Hey, you guys wanna drink, like, by all means. I personally am very anti-alcohol, okay? It's a WHO grade 1 carcinogen, okay? It causes cancer. The end, period. End of story. Oh, only smoking causes cancer. Nope. And anybody that I know that has made a really, really bad decision, for the most part, alcohol is involved. Okay. And I hate the fact that people are like, oh, I want to have a good time. I got to get drunk. And it's like, if you have to get drunk or get a buzz to have fun, like, to me, that's just kind of sad. I'm not trying to throw shots at anybody, but I'm just trying to let you guys know why I'm very anti-alcohol, very anti any kind of recreational drugs whatsoever. Okay. To each their own. If it makes you happy and it's legal where you are, by all means, enjoy it. Okay. I'm not trying to rain on your parade. But to see LeBron have a decision part 2 where he just promotes, an alcohol beverage, like, to me, that was the final straw. Like, I was really trying to not just, like, go full on LeBron hater, but, like, I'm legit just, I just that was so incredibly lame. I lost so much respect for him, but, whatever. Um, please do a tutorial on the auto pump. I can't seem to figure it out. Have a good weekend, farm boy. So Here's the auto pump. Okay. First thing you do, this button here, power button. Okay. Turn it on. Whole thing's going to turn blue. Okay. Now, when you press the power button again, I don't, let me see if I can put it somewhere where I'll get a good seal, if you know what I mean. All right. So you press the power button again. There we go. It's going to start pumping up. Okay. Let's say you want to pump to, yeah, let's say 20 kPa, okay? 20 kPa is right at about 6 inches of mercury, okay? You press the power button again and it stops, okay? Now let's say that okay, this is too much, you wanna decompress, you press the center button, okay? Center button decompresses, okay? Just like that, okay? Then you're like, "All right, I wanna go back up." Press the power button again. All right, power button, this time I wanna go to 25 kPa, which is about 8 inches of mercury, okay? 25, boom, right there, stop it. And now I wanna do working sets with that, okay? It's a little bit hard to see, but there's a little time thing up here, up in the corner where it says what the time is. If you press and hold the little button with the clock on it, it'll, let's see, did it come up? Yes, it'll come up and you can't really see it, but it says 00 minutes at there. And then if you press that again, it's there we go. It goes from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3, and when you hit that, it'll decompress completely, and then it will automatically pump up to the last pressure that was in place, and once it gets there, see, it just automatically holds it, and now it's gonna hold it there for 3 minutes, and the timer kinda counts down in the corner minute by minute, and then once the 3-minute hits, it's gonna decompress like this, and then it's gonna automatically pump back up, okay? That's pretty much the rundown, okay? Peakmalephysique.com if you guys need one of these. So yeah, hopefully that helped, and now I got a big hickey on my thigh. So wouldn't be the first time for that, am I right? Oh man. Brad says, "When are we gonna have the Diddy party for the chat?" Oh man. Let me Make sure it's no ortho OnlyFans. Whoa. I sometimes this chat, man, just goes nuts on my screen, and I'm sure it's user error. So we talked about DHT, we got ortho OnlyFans. So my guy Mike, thank you for the super chat, my friend. He says, "Hey, um, uh, let's see. I'm just sorry, guys. I'm just taking some notes. Uh, sorry. So, hey, I'm getting glands bruises with back extending, or even manual stretches causes bruising. Tried 4 weeks off and use ultra low tension, but after 5 minutes, it's coming back. Um, so I would kind of question: is it actually bruising? Are you having any like pain or soreness with that? Because it could just be that you're getting like a purplish discoloration by having additional blood flow there. Typically, like a bruise means you have like broken blood vessels, and the blood kind of creeps out into the skin, and then it normally like it goes from like purple, and then it goes to like brown, and then like yellow, and gradually fades like that. And so I think that you might just be very sensitive to the pressure, and that causes a purple discoloration to come into that area. Because if you're doing manual stretches, like you're still squeezing pressure into the glands, and of course if you're using a vacuum cap, that negative pressure is forcing blood into the glands also. um And so what I would do is, it's probably related. You might have to do intervals, my friend, like 1 minute intervals with your stretching, where you will like press and hold for a minute, then like relax, press and hold, relax. Okay. You just kind of have to be careful with it. But if it comes back after 5 minutes, it's probably because it's like that prolonged tension to that area. Um, Not tension, but the pressure like forcing the blood into that area. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question, man. But now if it's truly bruising, that's a bigger issue. And then I would be like, "Hey, bro, are you on blood thinners? Are you taking aspirin? Are you taking like too much ibuprofen on a daily basis? Do you have leukemia?" I mean, I'm not being serious about the leukemia, but like, do you have bleeding from your gums? Do you have bleeding in other places that could underlying either like a clotting disorder or some kind of platelet disorder? But I don't think it's actual bruising. Just so you know, I'm a clown in a mask. Don't listen to me. What do I know about anything at all? Anything. So RGS, thank you, bro. He says, the best way to do manuals and how hard do you need to pull? So my general recommendation is that, to quote Greg Doucette, like pulls like softer than last time or slower than last time, because you want to just gradually increase the tension. I think ideally the ideal tension is whatever you would do to a manual. So I don't know why YouTube just kicks me off sometimes. Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully you guys are still with me in the chat. This is wild. Can you hear me okay? Uh Anyways, okay, all right, got good. You guys can hear me. So what now lost the freaking chat. I don't know why YouTube just like, oh, all of a sudden lost stream connection. Um and I don't know, like, and now I lost the chat history as well. Um So we were talking about bruising discoloration. We were talking about how hard to pull during manuals. And so you want to pull with a tension that is going to basically equal your stretch flaccid length. Okay. And so like whatever that like whatever the tension that you use to get to the maximum stretch that you measure with is what you want to do. Obviously, don't go past that, and you never want to have pain. If it ever starts to hurt, stop. I mean, and use less pressure. And it might be something where you'll have to gradually increase the pressure over time. So, so yeah. So it was, and I think the most important direction is kind of like straight down. So like here is my drawstring, if you know what I mean. Like I tend to have like one hand at the base like this, and then I kind of pull like this, and I do it in most of the time a straight down direction. Okay. Every now and then I'll do a little like between the cheeks type of thing and like kind of reach behind me and like pull it back like underneath my leg. But in general, it's just kind of straight down like this. Okay. Um, you can, and well, it'll be straight down, then I'll switch hands and I'll do straight down like that, and then I'll do like kind of back towards my groin on my left side, and then maybe switch hands and like back toward my groin on my right side, just depending on how my hands get tired. So, so yeah. And I don't know if I missed other super chats, guys. When this thing restarted, I lost all of my chat except for like Red Maroon saying we love your input, Hinkle McCrinkleberry. So if you guys can, especially my mods that still have the chat history, can you like send me any super chats that I missed or like copy and paste the messages? Because I missed that, man. Um, so Enemies Nutrition Doc says there are other things besides growth hormone that can upregulate androgen receptors. You're right, bro. And actually, Cialis is actually one of those things that has evidence of upregulating androgen receptor as well as L-carnitine. L-carnitine also upregulates androgen receptors. Uh, yeah. JR, you're hilarious, bro. You're yeah, you're hilarious. Um, let's see. Um, let me get to let's see. So Pullus Chaser said, I had a super about EQ. Pullus, please send me the super chat again. So I don't miss that because I don't have any record of it right now. Uh My guy Simtex is in the mother effing building, man. That dude is brilliant. I love bouncing ideas back and forth off him, man, and he's a super nice guy. Simtex, if you're still in here, man, you should drop the link to your Discord. But uh, but yeah, yeah, dude is super awesome. And I think he's also a moderator on the Science of PE, I think, is what it's called. And so if you guys want more of a like more of a scientific minded kind of deep in the weeds type of discussion, you guys should consider that subreddit as well. But Simtex is an awesome dude. And so I'm going from the bottom up. So Daniel says, so thank you very much for the very generous super chat, my friend. Um, he says, speaking of discoloration, what have you heard about nano thioglycolic glycolic acid? I can't read, guys. I'm completely illiterate. From what I've researched, it seems to be one of the best active ingredients for um, treating darkening by hemosiderin, thanks to its iron chelating action. Should I try? So I actually have a paper on that is actually saved on my video script for reversing discoloration, and we probably read the same paper. I don't know if it was nano thioglycolic acid, but there's definitely interesting research for that. My problem with like, if I recall correctly, with why I didn't pursue it further is I didn't have a way to get the thioglycolic acid without a prescription, I think, at least here in the States, here in America. But yeah, I think that has very good evidence for it. Because once again, guys, the problem where the discoloration comes from is from the iron staining from the blood that's like left behind from basically over too much pressure in the area. And so you want to um, ideally have something that is not only going to cause skin cell turnover and like peeling, but also is going to basically bind to the iron and get rid of it. And that's where that thioglycolic acid can actually do that. I've never tried it. I don't know how much it burns. I don't know the side effects about it. I don't recommend anybody do any kind of skin peel on any kind of thing or listen to a single word that I have ever said ever in the history of life. But that being said, I am I'm researching it, and I plan on making a full video on how to reverse discoloration in the meantime. So, so yeah, man. So I can't recommend that you try that. No, I absolutely cannot, in good faith, recommend anybody try kind of any experimental discoloration reversal, especially when I haven't tried it myself and I don't know the side effects. So, you health and wellness. Finally got your comment. He says, "Hey, Hink, been consistent with zinc, maca, ashwagandha, pycogenol, L-carnitine, L-citrulline, L-arginine, and L-arginine, plus light pump ADS work. Seeing great results. Any tip to fine-tune recovery for lasting gains?" Um, no, man. I mean, that seems like I like your supplement breakdown. The one thing you want to be careful with ashwagandha is that number one, you would want to make sure that you cycle off of it. Number two, if it's at a low dose, you, you're not really at risk of it, which is why the dose in, like, Vitality is relatively low. Ah, my guy, Red Maroon just DM'd me the missed super chat, so thank you. Um, so, bu 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 um Right. So, oh yeah, the other thing is it can lead to something called anhedonia, where like I don't know if any of you all have been depressed. Oh, of course, me, I've never been depressed like for the past fucking like 4 months, but sometimes I just get up and I don't care about like anything. And it's like, and it's not even that you don't care about it. It's like I normally like listening to Drake, and I don't feel like listening to Drake. Not a word out of you, Caleb. And like, oh, Drake got his case dismissed with extreme prejudice. Like, yeah, as he should have, because that was a hoe move. But OV hoe gang. But the point is that it can lead to you like not enjoying the things that you normally enjoy out of life. So, but other than that, I think that you have a great stack right there. So no, I don't think I have any additional comments, man. If you're already seeing great results, just keep it up, man. Don't switch anything up. Real fast, guys, let me get to these super chats. So my guy Bryson King sent me a King Hinkleberry super chat. So thank you, bro. Let's see. Captain Save a Chump update on new supplements coming out. Thank you, bro. I don't really have an update right now. I don't. Stay tuned. I really appreciate the super chat, but just stay tuned is all I can say at this point. Okay. Bryson says, "What do you think about Brian Johnson wearing a device at night on his member to measure or record nighttime hard-ons?" I think that that's one of the most now that's definitely hyperbole to say one of the most important. I think it's an underrated marker of overall health, especially men's health. Is of course, men's health, but then again, it is 2025, and certain people think anyways. Um, but I think that that's a pretty good idea. A lot of the time, people like I actually had a client recently that was like, "I don't have my nighttime erections like I used to," and I'm like, "Well, how do you know for sure?" Because I would argue that most of the nocturnal erections that you get are when you're asleep, and it's actually not that common that you actually wake up and you have a nocturnal erection from that, and and you wake up with that. So that is a much more objective measure, especially if you're considering like overwork, for example. Like if you wear one of those devices and you have erections that are consistent, then that's great. But if you notice a trend going down over time, there's still a lot of things that could lead to that, but it is more telling that way. So you health and wellness. So Mac sent another super chat. Thank you, Red, once again, man. He says, "Finished my first 30 days since starting PE. I think of it as a test month, figuring out what's right for me. Only did PE 19 to 30 days. That's not bad, dude. Just starting off. Due to issues, due to it, due to issues PE and not um I only did PE 19 to 30 days due to issues PE and not 63%. Okay. Got a solid routine for consistency now. Take your time. Okay, I think I'm following what you're saying now. So yeah, man, that's not a bad idea to do like every other day for the first month, especially minimizing the risk of injury. So not a bad idea at all. Thank you very much for this. All you guys sending the super chats. It's very much appreciated, man. Um, my guy, and then hard R's, he says, "Hey, you got any tips on EQ in the evening? The only time I feel like my EQ is actually good is in the morning when I get into work." So, a couple things. Um, I know my guy Intimacy Nutrition Doc is in here, and maybe you guys know this as well. But typically, you have like a diurnal peak, like usually like a two peak of your testosterone levels during the day. And so, if you're a natural guy and you have that natural peak of testosterone, your EQ is going to be better. And I think one of those is in the morning, if I'm not mistaken, and one of them is during deep sleep at night. But I would have to verify that. So please fact check me on that, guys. I don't want to put out accidentally poor information or incorrect. The other thing is maybe in the morning. So caffeine is actually a phosphodiesterase inhibitor. And so you can have maybe in the morning you have a cup of coffee and then you're like, man, my EQ is really good. It's because of the caffeine. Um, the other thing is maybe you're well hydrated in the morning. You wake up, you drink a bunch of water, you're feeling good, you're getting moving. Then at the end of the day, you're more dehydrated or you're more tired or it's been stressful. And because it's been stressful, you've sent a stress feedback mechanism and your T levels have dropped, test levels have dropped. So there's a lot of different things that can happen with that. So got that. Got my guy Simtex. Got my guy uh, Mac. Oh yeah, no, I see it now. So I did answer that one. Let's see here. Uh, Daniel says, here in Brazil, it's very easy to get access to this acid. And from what I've read, nanothioglycolic acid seems to have much more penetrating and profound action than just regular thioglycolic acid. Um, Thank you for the super chat once again, bro. Once again, that's one of those things. I read the paper and it was like extremely promising. And maybe I just didn't do a deep enough dive on how to get it here. But like I have a feeling you're asking me ultimately, like, is this safe? Is this something I can recommend? I can't. I mean, like, I can't, especially not at this point. I'm hoping that maybe in the future, or maybe if I just like read the literature, but like, I don't know that. And so, so yeah, just be careful if you're going to try that. But I do think the data is very promising that it's very effective. So Raul says, do you think PE can help with enlarged prostate? No, no, I don't think it'll necessarily make it worse either. But no, I don't think it's going to help with enlarged prostate. Now, what can help is actually Cialis causes smooth muscle relaxation, so you can actually have improved urination if you're having enlarged prostate, something we call BPH, at least here in the States, that can actually limit your urinary flow. But no, PE is not going to help with enlarged prostate. Uh, Bryson says, "Do you have a device recommendation?" No, I don't, bro. I'd have to do research. I think there's one called Atom, like ADAM, if I'm not mistaken. But that was the only one that I even temporarily looked into. Um, yeah, I think I might be caught up, guys, and it's just shy of an hour. This is perfect. So hopefully, mods, if you don't mind in here, just checking to see if there is let's see, Red just messaged me again. If I missed any Pullus Chaser says, "Hey, you got any tips on EQ in the evening?" I know I got that one, All right. So I think sorry, Red is messaging me in real time. All right, I think I'm caught up. So I'll answer just a couple more questions. Woo. Hink, you missed Pullus Chaser. Did I not get Pullus Chaser? Pullus Chaser posted a super chat again. Thanks, hard R's. I think I answered that because it's at Hink. Hey, you got any tips? Yeah, I think I answered it. Am I tripping balls? Okay, I got it. All right. Thank you. Javon says, Miss Super Chat, I've taken away a lot more from this channel than just PE. We're making money moves this year. Paul's on the girth gains. Let's get some green gains, baby. That's awesome. So my boy Javon actually hit me up in the super chat, not super chat, in the DMs recently and told me he was working on some things. And so actually we might have some partnering opportunities in a little bit here. But yeah, man, I'm proud of you, bro. And it's everybody wants a bigger D, but like if you're out here just trying to get a bigger D because you think it'll make you more attractive to women, I'm telling you, you'd be better served trying to do something. It's messed up, but it's the way of the world. to improve your bank account because when it comes to size, women care much more about the size of your bank account. Some women do, okay? I would argue that that's not the kind of women that you want with, but like in my opinion, when it comes to money, now this isn't the case for all things. And so just like it's kind of like when you do have money, it is typically a symbol that like you have worked hard. And so it's not just like, oh, I like him because he's rich, but it's like, I do like decently for myself. Guys, you can tell like I can buy the shoes that I want, even though I'm still in the whole 100 grand from this whole Leviathan thing, but that's another story. But the point is, um, like I also like worked hard going to cosplaying school so I could cosplay as a doctor. And so anyways, that's all like I'm not gonna perseverate on that. But yeah. So anyways, get your money up, Javon. I'm proud of you, bro. But also just don't I would advise you to not just get your money up just so you can flex for women, which is not what you're trying to do. I'm just saying that because you don't want to attract the wrong women with that. And Yeah, guys, I think that's gonna do it. There's a lot of activity. I might have to go live tomorrow. I don't know that I'm gonna have time tomorrow, but yeah, I really appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for being here. Natural growth window, I would say, stops by 21 years of age, by for most people. But yeah, if you don't mind, leave a like before you bounce, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you to all my mods, especially the guys that are keeping me honest. Big shout out, Red Maroon, for sending me those super chat DMs. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys, and got some pretty interesting stuff coming out too. Hopefully, you guys enjoy that. But I'll catch you in the next one. All right, peace and love.